Okay, what we're going to ask them as they're getting ready for their leadoff, especially at the younger ages, and we've got a tall base, they don't have to be on the base. We're going to put them on the outside part of the base. We're going to have their left foot always the one that's on the base, on the ground touching the base, and we're going to be in this position here. As we're getting ready, then we're going to creep down here, and we're going to always keep our eyes on the ball. Anytime you're running the bases, you should never ever lose sight of the ball, ever. So we're here in this position, everything looks good, we're going to get low, and then what we're looking for is as the ball gets released from the pitcher, we need to be coming off the base. We're starting behind the base, so we have to leave early, okay? So we want to time how the pitcher's motion is, if we're going to leave when she's here, if she's here or she's here, but ideally we don't want to be in this position when she releases the ball. We want to act like we're coming off, and I should be coming off here, and then I should be, keep your foot back there. She's still on the base. I should be in this as she's releasing the ball, and then I'm off the base. We have to get to that point, okay? We lead off from behind the base because it's hard for the umpire to tell when I leave the base when I start here. If, as I'm getting my lead at all the bases and I start here, the minute I move, the umpire knows it, so he can see my whole body. I'm here, I move, oh, the pitcher hasn't released it, you're out. If I start back here, it's hard because I've got all this motion going and he has to look at my foot. That's why we do it. Okay, now the older girls, what we'd like to do is have their foot where the ball of their foot is on the inside part of the base, so I can literally push off like a starting block in a race. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to be rocking back, and then I'm going to explode off of the base. What I'm looking for from my student athlete is whether we have a steal on or nothing on, I want them to explode off to make it always look the same. Because if one time they're standing up like this and nothing's on, and then we give them the steal and all of a sudden they're like this, everyone's going to see it. So they got to make everything look like it's a steal. As we get someone here, remember, left foot's always on the base, on the ground beside the base if it's a tall one. We're in a starting like we're racing position. The knees are bent hard, okay, just like this, and she's tracking the ball right here. Now as she comes off, I'm looking at her head to make sure she doesn't do this. I need to follow the ball. It might get popped up, the catcher might do a pitch out, it might be a line drive. So as she's coming off, I'm looking for this. Act like you're coming off, come on. And we're looking to make sure she tracks the ball. Then we get to here, and we're athletic. Feet are wider than our shoulders. Hands are out in front of us, bend hard. We're right there looking at the ball from the catcher. The catcher catches it clean, and we want to shuffle back. What we want to teach them not to do is to cross their feet when they're going back. Because now the catcher goes to throw it and she drops it, and I can't take off to the next base because I'm in this position. The shuffle is step and drag. So I'm going to be here, step and drag, step and drag, step and drag, and we can speed that up if we have to. But I always want one foot on the ground so I could instantly change directions. So what we're going to also teach them when they're coming off of first is any ball that's hitting the outfield, we have to try to go as far as we can, but we need to face the ball. So let's say in this instance, we're at first base and the ball's hit to right field. What we'll see, a lot of kids will come off the base and they'll be facing home and they're looking to see if the girl caught it like this. We want to teach them if the ball's in right field to turn and face the ball and read it and go as far as they think they can get and have to sprint back. Okay, so she's watching the ball, she's here, and we want them to get as far as they can, but be able to stay here until she actually catches it. If she's catching it out there about 100 feet away, I don't want to be like this, and right before she catches it, I start back, and then she drops it. I've lost 5 steps. So I'm going to stay here, leaning towards second, because that's where I want to go. I actually physically see the catch. Now I'm going to come back to first, never taking my eyes off the ball. They throw the ball into second, I'm going to look at it. Oh, second base misses it. Here I go. Never lose sight of the ball. And remember, as we come off, wherever the ball's hit, if it's in left field, I'm here. If it's in center field, I'm facing here. If it's right here, I'm always going to be facing the ball. Now, the misnomer is if I turn and face second base, that I've made an attempt to go to second. This is not true. I can come to first base like this and see the ball go here and then take a step like that, still facing this way. Now I'm in jeopardy and I've made an attempt to go to second. As long as she doesn't make an attempt to go to second here, she can turn back towards the infield and walk back to the base, and we still have not made an attempt to go to second base. Teach your student athletes that if she comes here and turns properly like this, and the other coach starts yelling, she turned the wrong way, tag her out, she can't react to that. She just needs to walk back to the base. Here comes the first baseman to tag her, tell her to walk right on by and get there. She has not made an attempt to second base. Now if the first baseman starts to come and tag her and she tries to avoid the tag, now we're in jeopardy. Work on that every day to teach them not to do that, okay?